The importance of being more disagreeable. I would encourage everyone listening to be more disagreeable with things around you, because I've spoken before about setting a standard and everything like that. Sometimes listen, I used to be a very agreeable person. I was an extreme people pleaser. I was an extreme overcompensator. I would put a lot of things above myself. Um, and this led me down a path that made me that really messed me up. That really messed me up. And so why I've swung so hard the opposite ways to find the edge where to come back from. And there was a point I remember a few years ago where I was learning to be extremely disagreeable and learning to be okay in confrontation and to be okay in rejection and all this, have this like rejection therapy and everything like that. And I would go be disagreeable just for the sake of disagreeing with something. Even if I did actually agree with that person, I would disagree just to practice that confrontation and say, hey, I actually don't agree with what you're saying. This is what I think, and just have some completely obscure, off topic, opposite viewpoint, just for the sake of practicing and just for the sake of being more confident in what I believe and what I say and what I believe and as a truth, or wanting to stand up in that own thing. And I think it's done wonders. I think it's done complete wonders, because being able to speak on your own voice and being able to speak on your own ideas in a way frees you from agreeability. It frees you from consensus. It frees you from generality, I would say. And that you can stand in the face of anyone or anything and say, actually, I think you're wrong. These are my experiences. This is my proof. This is the evidence that I have. And this is why I believe what I believe. And I'm completely willing to have a conversation about it. But I'm going to sit here and say, I think you're wrong. And I think that my truth outweighs yours. And you have to learn how to do that. I feel like that's such a valuable skill. And you have to, and part of it is confidence in what you're saying. It's confidence, it's truth. It's also having the experience, right? Like I would disagree on things that I have experience in. I would have experience in the things that I know, or things that, I've taken time. I'm not gonna sit there and disagree with someone on something that I have absolutely no idea about. I can only give my perspective on up to the level of my understanding. And if I feel that my level of understanding supersedes their level of understanding, then I'm only going to put my viewpoint forward. So it's just a thing. I think learning to be disagreeable is an extremely valuable skill for any man or woman. Even I think any person is just has to learn that, especially if you're on the air of that. If you're on the spectrum of that side of people pleasing and everything like that, I think you have to counterbalance it with the other side.